Welcome back to this week's news show from the Ministry for Information Insemination. So I hope you're ready and presenting for your insemination information. We've got a couple of different things this week. We've got the heaviest ever sumo deadlift. Sorry, said that weird. So the heaviest ever sumo deadlift. We've got Dana White saying he was going to die in 10.4 years exactly, and then he changed that apparently. Then we've got Italian 89, and a guy in Nino's shadow, but he's a very good lifter in his own right. And we got some Korean weightlifting, and then we got a little bit of Guo doing some lifting as well, confidently saying Guo's name.
Some power jerks,
but nobody knows. We've got Jamal Browner, a very, very popular lifter, very strong lifter, power lifter. So he recently deadlifted 500 kilos. It has to be said he did a sumo deadlift with it, but this is certainly insane. This has to be the heaviest deadlift ever by a non-super heavyweight kind of strongman, I suppose. So we've seen, obviously, Eddie Hall did 500 kilos first person to break the kind of 500 kilos. Then we had Hafthor did a 501, a lot easier than Eddie's 500 kilos. And then we had the whole boxing debacle, which turned out to be a bit of a shit show in terms of boxing. But two very, very strong human beings.
Yeah.
And now we Jamal doing this 500 kilos, figure of 8 straps. Massively impressive.
Unbelievable, yeah. It's insane to see. Have you ever seen Jamal pulling conventional?
I think we have. You see it sometimes in his Instagram. I think he does a little bit as a training lift.
Okay.
But I don't think I've seen anything from him recently.
You know what I like as well is it's not like feet all the way out to the plates.
Yes.
Like it is kind of a more moderate sumo.
His sumo angles are essentially what conventional angles would be. So we have a video of him doing 370 kilos for 5 conventional deadlift. Now there's been a lot of stuff recently, as we've talked about, in relation to the kind of hate online for people doing sumo deadlifting, but I don't think anyone can hate on a 500 kilo sumo deadlift.
No.
It's serious range of motion. So his conventional deadlift is great. Like, it's a very good conventional deadlift. Phenomenal. It is what you'd expect from someone of his size, but 500 kilos is incredible at his body weight.
Yeah, I wonder, will this break that kind of ceiling again of, you know, some of the massive world strongest men guys going and trying 500? Will you see more powerlifters trying 500 now?
Yeah, we did see we've seen 2 different strongmen in recent times, I can't think of their name, who both were trying to attempt the 500 kilo plus deadlift. 505 was kind of the next one, which feels right, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
505 does make the most sense, but no one has been able to achieve it. So there's the Ukrainian and the Canadian powerlifter, but you have to imagine, you have to imagine this will break the kind of mental barrier somewhat.
Yeah.
And like, they did it with straps as well. There was nothing stopping them. Oh, actually, you can't do sumo in strongman competitions.
Can't you?
In the deadlift competitions, I don't think you can do sumo.
Okay, because they wanted to be a deadlift, like.
No, this is incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
He's always after it. Imagine the internal pressure. That's outrageous. Next up, we've got Dana White talking about, and I think a lot of people have heard this, because a couple of people have said it to me recently, where they were talking about Dana White. Saw this regenerative medicine, progressive medicine guy. He said that Dana White had exactly 10.4 years to live.
They do these tests on you, and they know when you're going to die.
So he was talking about this, and he said he could predict Dana's death within a month, and he said they've been doing that. Now, I'd love to see how they're backing up their data and seeing who are they doing this with? How are they predicting? Or are they using this as a like predictive thing in relation to there are a couple of different studies, and then they're doing a bit of sneaky statistics, and they're coming out with that? Or are they going, that's my client, and I said he was going to die then, and so if that was your client, did you not help them live longer? What's going on here?
Because that's the thing, you can't have a control group, because otherwise they'll be like, oh my god, he's about to die and we won't help him.
So I'm like, wait a minute, this guy can tell me when I'm gonna die and be right within a month?
That was your hook.
I became obsessed.
I looked at the website, 10x Labs or 10x Medicine or something, 10x Health, and they do a range of stuff. So the range of stuff that you'd consider to be pretty standard amongst kind of regenerative medicine. I wonder, with their DNA testing, are they doing telomere testing as well?
I assume so.
That could be where the amount of time you've left in your life thing is coming up. They do a lot of kind of tailored IV stuff. They do something called the superhuman protocol, which is
a paltry $131,843.
Nice. So it's oxygen treatment, red light therapy, and what's the last one? Magnetism.
And yes.
Very nice.
Yes.
And for that $131,843, you get white glove shipping and delivery.
So that's what distracted me there. When you asked me that question, I was literally looking at white glove shipping and delivery.
Now, Dana White's in great shape.
Yes.
And he said it's gotten rid of his sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he's on a keto diet, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly on TRT as well.
Yeah, I think,
which,
that's fair.
Makes a lot of sense.
He looks great.
He looks in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
So maybe they are doing some good things and just sorting them out. But maybe the magnetism or the $131,000 is excessive.
So red light therapy, photobiomodulation, loads of research around that. A lot of good research. There's lots of it in relation to different things. Hypermax, the oxygen generator system, so hyperbaric chambers or high oxygen environments. There is ongoing research with that, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So there's two things there that seem to be pretty legitimate in terms of what you're giving someone. The pure wave PEMF mat is something that I have not heard about.
That's the magnetism.
The magnetism thing is concerning. Like, as someone who pays attention to this stuff, like,
you're big into this.
I wouldn't say big into it, but I do pay attention.
You have an interest.
I have an interest in this stuff. Like, I do observe what's going on, not in any like meaningful fashion, but I do pay attention to when people talk about it because I'm always interested. But the magnetism one, I haven't yet seen someone talk about magnetism and I've been like, oh, that's a good person.
Yeah.
So there's this thing recently as well where it's like hydrogen water.
Oh.
Hydrogen gas infused water.
Right.
It's a big one. They're actually, someone got a study published saying reduced inflammation.
What?
Yeah. There's reverse osmosis water as well. That's another one. You'd love that one. You'd love reverse osmosis water.
Reverse osmosis water, they're purifying it through reverse osmosis?
It would seem so.
So it's basically like distilled water.
And there's something else. There's like sulfur water. But it's interesting. Well, you can buy a red light for like €200.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 1,331 minus 200. So
the Hypermax oxygen thing looks expensive.
Is it $100,000 expensive though?
Who knows?
I can get magnets for cheaper than that as well, I'd say.
So that's what Dana White appears to be doing.
That's our mixed martial arts news. Yeah.
That's NAD and stuff like that. Infused drips or IVs are definitely on the up and up on their website on the homepage. It's as seen on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So obviously the Kardashians like an old IV drip to keep them mentally prepared throughout the day.
I'm just confused how Cat would make you live longer. So they've a 10x cocktail with NAD plus,
and the ketamine comes straight in that.
Why are they calling ketamine NAD? Like, that's not the acronym for Cat. Like, that's just not it. Yeah, drips are taking, like, they all follow this similar bracket of things, And by the way, like, a lot of this stuff is great, a lot of this does help, but I don't know if you need to be paying $131,000 for it.
No.
Moving on to our weightlifters. We've got someone who's living in Nino Pizzolatos' shadow, Cristiano Fico, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'd say Fico.
Fico sounds right. So recently in competition, he clean and jerked 210 kilos and 160 kilo snatch. Technically, he's a very nice lifter. He's got that overextension thing that you have.
Yeah.
Which is strange.
Very long-legged.
Super long, like his contacting the clean is in the hip crease. His contacting the clean is exactly in place as he snatched, but you see he overextends his hips to get it in.
He's very short arms as well.
So normally when he hits cleans, if we look at other cleans from his, they're super slow pull and very slow stand up.
Okay,
but this 210 was the easiest we've seen him clean anything.
Oh, his lockout's lovely.
So I'll just look at an older clean and jerk there from his, and I'll kind of show you what you mean. This 210 just kind of took a bigger jump than normal. So we've something like, here's another 210 from before. So training in it beautifully.
Oh yeah, really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, really slow is like it's mean to that's an exaggeration, not exaggeration, but it's like in relative to his 210 he did recently. So
lovely control on the dip and drive.
I assume Nino's doctor got in with him. Oh no. So here's a 200. So he's getting a lot better.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot faster. So it's very interesting to see how he'll progress. His snatch technique very pretty as well. So we looked at 160.
Yet another weightlifter on the up and up in Italy.
Great to see.
Yeah.
So beautiful snatch.
Very nice snatch.
That looks like he got 170.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what his max snatch is. We haven't seen very heavy snatches from him.
It's yet another great example of a system that everybody uses the system, and that system winning out in the end, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like standardized technique model, standardized coaching model, good support for the athletes, and it's yet another top level international athlete coming out of Italy.
Yes. So he's a Fiamme Azzurri athlete.
Oh.
Yes. Oh, it's one of the police athletes.
Okay.
Oh. Next, we're moving back to Korea. So we did Korea last week as well, and we've Park Hee-jung. So she's a youth, or she was actually, since she's a junior, I don't think she's a youth anymore. So she's very, very young. She competed in the Asian Junior Championships and did 115, 155. But we've got a 150 clean jerk from her in training, and consummates.
Insanely easy. Talk about having short arms made for weightlifting.
It's almost cheating.
It's almost too short.
Yeah.
Insanely easy. With the female bars as well, like 150 kilos just looks so whippy.
You put 100 kilos on a female bar there and it just starts whipping.
Yeah.
You do see a trend with a lot of the stronger female lifters do squat with the men's bar.
Yes.
You see Toma, for example, doing it a lot.
I really like the foot movement as she's standing up, or as she's re-racking the bar, you know?
Yeah. She's some very heavy lifts on her Instagram. She's a very, very strong lifter. Routinely does a lot of stuff from blocks.
Okay.
I want to say out of my memory, she's clean and jerked 170 from blocks, but I'm not sure. Like, her squat is something that is absolutely obnoxious. So if we find... So here's 200 kilos for 4x5, right?
And then 210 for 3x3 after.
Yes.
My God.
It's like...
Unbelievably good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They're amazing squats. So no wonder when she's clean jerking 155 like that.
Yeah. Goes without saying, anybody who's looking to lift those kind of numbers, if your 200 kilos doesn't look like that, you probably want to be squatting a bit more.
Yes. So loves block stuff. You don't see a lot of the other cleans doing as much block stuff as she does. And it's obviously working incredibly well for her. So she's 165 from blocks as well, which is mad for 2 singles, just to clean.
My God.
No, sorry, it's a double. Holy shit. What the fuck?
Oh my God. Yeah, very, very good.
Now, I hope that's motivating for your rest of your week if you're lifting from blocks. Sticking with strong Koreans, we've Sang Ilham squatting 340 kilos in the Dara's favourite pair of weightlifting shoes ever that he doesn't own. 340. No clips.
No. Insanely low elbows.
Super low elbows. Very wide grip.
Yeah.
Walks it back in and out.
So after this, on his story, he had 370. Looks like he jumped straight from 340 to 370 and failed the attempt. But I'd love to know what was going on in between.
I'd say it was a case of can't fit anything else on the barbell.
Yeah.
Might as well go 370.
Yeah.
Was probably
insane.
Thinking, I can't blame a man for doing that. There's that moment where when you don't commit to a back squat, it's all over.
Oh, so my God.
It starts as you unrack.
Yeah.
And then as you walk backwards.
As you walk every step further away from the rack, you're just like, this isn't happening.
And there's a moment between when you're about to start squatting and there's a time where when it's going really well, you're like, okay, perfect, I have this feels super easy.
Yeah.
Or if you take an extra 2 seconds, you're like, shit, I'm going to miss this.
Sometimes if it's a very heavy one and I think I might miss it, I'll have to do like the County Downey game in my head.
What's that?
Whereas I'll just be like 3, 2, and I know I'm going to have to go on one.
You just go for it.
I'll just be like 3, 2, 1 and just go for it, because I know it's very likely I'll miss it, or it'll be really grindy and painful squat, and I'll be standing there being like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. And then I'll just 3, 2, 1 go.
Yeah, I think if you've committed to a squat, if you're walking it out, I think you should just do it.
You should just do it, yeah.
And like, this isn't coming from Darren Owen, the coaches. This is just coming from Darren Owen.
The idiots,
the lifters. I think if you walk a squat out, you should, unless you're really experienced, unless you've been squatting for like 10 years and you're like, this isn't happening. But if this is anything below 215 or 220, I think you should just commit to it and just be like, because you just don't ever want that in your book. You don't that habit. Like,
no, you never want that memory in your brain where you're like, oh, this has happened before.
You can do that when you're squatting like 250 and it's a year later and you're just taking out 220 one day and you're like, fuck, this
doesn't
feels
matter.
Heavy. This feels heavy. I'm just going to put this back. That's smart training.
Yeah.
But
But
if you're doing that when it's below like kind of 215, 220, you just don't want to be getting into your head where you're like, oh.
Psychologically, it's risky biscuits.
It is a game of risky biscuit. Walking out a squat and not doing it. Like, you want to be like Ilya and he's training for 2014 Worlds. We're just missing. That's what you want.
Bother.
That's what you want in your training. You
That's
just want to be
not what you want in your training.
Missing
Don't
squats.
miss anything.
Finally, we're moving to Taiwan. We have Guo, a lifter that a lot of people would be like, who's your favorite technical lifter? Who do you think is like technical perfection? And Guo is one of those. So we actually use Guo for the clean and jerk model for our weightlifting seminars when we do them. Like, there's obviously a lot of other great lifters, and there's some things she could improve on and some things we change in general, but technically she is phenomenal.
Yeah, very, very good. Also, very kind of standard proportions, so there's nothing crazy out of the way with her stance or anything like that, just very, very standard. Here is a 125 clean and power jerk in competition. You don't know what competition this is, Griff, do you?
Some local competition, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So I assume she's competing at the Asian Championships coming up soon.
So 64 kilos body weight, very easy.
I'd have to call that casual.
Yeah.
And it's not often people who don't power jerk can make a power jerk look good. Mm-hmm. But that looks like she could squat jerk that.
Yeah.
Speaking of squat jerks, oh, it snuck it in. I didn't even tell you. Ilya did a squat jerk at 150. Yeah, Dara didn't even notice this coming up.
No.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Where's Ilya's Instagram?
No, this happens every week.
Dara didn't even notice this was happening. Ilya did a 150 squat jerk, lads. 150. That's only 95 kilos away.
You're wishing your life away.
Look, watch this 150. 95 kilos away from his best ever squat jerk. 95 kilos. We're on the comeback here. I believe it. Watch
Less
this.
than 100.
Watch it. Look, 150. See, less than 100 kilos. We're double digits now, Dara.
Gareth, stop.
That's almost at his best muscle clean. Aren't you happy?
No.
Aren't you happy?
No, every week you do this.
I know. But 150, Dara, like,
that looked heavy when he stood that up. No, it's
on
not.
The comeback.
No, it's not. It's 100 kilos less.
In 95 kilos.
95 kilos less.
Wait, yeah, 245 was his best. So, I mean, we saw how fast he changed. Like, this can happen. This can happen.
Stop.
Thanks for watching today's new show.
You were double checked today.
It's been an absolute delight to host you guys and a new show. I'm super glad.
Doing this
Let us know which one is your favorite. Like, which part of Ilya's clips was your favorite. I think
the Ilya new show.
Ilya and Park Young, probably my favorite from today's new show. But 150 squat jerk, we can safely say the comeback is back on. Peace out, guys. See you next week.